Hawaiian dog. EBMASUSA@gmail.com here. Don't forget to like me and subscribe. Yeah, and $10 a month. So we're looking at this Dan Chi idea, single arm Chi Sau. And traditionally in Wing Chun, you rush through single arm Chi Sau because Wing Chun is very practical. We get right into fighting for self-defense. Our goal is your first lesson, you're a little better at self-defense. None of these long years of a form with no application. But still, we would rush through single arm, and we don't need to rush through it anymore. We have so many simultaneous training programs. It's fine to have Dan Chi going on and have more detail. So let's look at that. The first thing we've always done is a spring punch and spring counter punch. All right, so does this punch spring into the air when it's let go? And that's what we'll have beginners do. So a pull and a punch. Both people are practicing this spring. It's crossed. You can actually teach beginners to over and cross is better than under cross. We guarantee it's outside. So have them punch at each other's cross shoulders to start. We're trying to structure a geometry that's going to give them a good habit. If I let them win the Wing Chun habit too much, they're going to end up having a gap right here. They're going to end up having stuff like this happen too often, and this is no good for nobody. Pay attention to that because it's coming up again. So once they got a nice spring going, we're going to add Tan Sau energy and Pak Sau, Tan Sau and Pak Sau if you're in California. So high punch, feed them a Tan Sau, feed them a Pak Sau. And so this beginner is learning to feel right here, this hand is going to start to extend to feel where's that energy going. Tan Sau side, indoor Pak Sau side. Tan Sau we like more. 2/3 of the time I want to be on the Tan Sau side. Only 1/3 of the time on the indoor Pak Sau side. First is the kids. Now it's technician grade 1, Isaiah. So then, that's a 0 grade level thing. Anyone who comes into a school, show them that stuff. There's a whole little set of like Chi Sau reflexes. You can just train someone in 10 minutes and have them feel it. Beautiful stuff. And then imagine being able to do that with every punch you ever do. It just feels its way into the stuff. You know, we have student grades in any WT family. You should have student grades. K through 12. You've got your college technician grades, associates, bachelor of science, master's and PhD, right? Tech 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0 grade, they just came into school. They buy a passport. Now we're looking at paying student who's committed to the art. We'll show them 2 grades ahead. So they can go all the way up to grade 2 just to give them a lot of stuff to work with. So in grade 1, they should be chambering and adducting by this point. And we're always going to have that spring punch to start because that's the primary nervous system signal that we want. And then we're going to go into the Tan Sau. And then he's going to counter punch all the way across. And I'll have a Tan Sau. And we can have him just do that back and forth. And this gets the idea of the punch. And as I feel a punch, I have to open my hand. The end of a punch, as I feel his energy leave, I get to start punching. And we want to keep the punches, I'm opening my hands, you can see, I want the punch to go right there. And Isaiah's is right here. If I go off to the side, his spring punch energy is going to get freed, right? So I have to push into that spring punch energy. And then the second move in here is at the middle, we're both traveling through Man Sau. Open a Man Sau. So we're both traveling through this moment. So I give him a Tan Sau, he gives me a punch, I'm in Tan Sau. As we get to right here, I could go underneath. And then it's a jump because I got under his hand. Gonna jump me, and then he's gonna do his counter punch, and I get a Pak on the second one. And we don't really have a cycle here. You could, just like for a drill, but this would be the kind of thing you rush through, right? This drill is a rush through drill. This drill is a rush through drill, right? I'd rather have it be right in a little component and something else, more like a Chi Sau cycle than a dead drill. Action! Alright, so second student grade is the place where what most Wing Chun worldwide, any family would call single arm Chi Sau. I'll be on this side. And so now we are parallel arms, paired arms, right against left. And the Tan Sau goes for an attack, the Jump Sau opens up. Then the Jump Sau makes a fist and pushes the elbow down a little bit, and I get a Bong Sau. And then I go back myself, or he goes a little this way. He doesn't like this coming in, so he drops a Fook, and we're here. And it repeats. Boom, boom, boom. And this is what we call a dead cycle. This is why you want to rush through it. I'm going to do it on this side. So it's dead because right here there's a little mistake. This move is not very good. If I just did it over and over, that is not very good. I would rather do something else right here. So we have a rule in Wing Chun that if you do something 3 times in a row without a change, then you must be doing it wrong. So back to here. The first thing that we have that's an EBMAS mandatory thing is you have to do a Heun Sau before the palm strike. So right here I do a Heun Sau and get him out of the way. Now that's something I like. Right here, he Heun Sau's me. So this is our classic single arm Chi Sau. I have a whole workshop I teach. I'll teach anybody the 3 pairs and the 3 attacks in between. Let's go back to this side. Yeah. So the 3 pairs are Fuk Sau and Tan Sau. And then we get to here and it's Jump Sau or Jut Sau. Some of you call this Jut Sau. We can be okay with that. Jut or Jum. And this is really, at this point now, Man Sau inside. And then does a low punch. Chum Q punch. Bong Sau. And then we're back to the start. And then the Heun Sau connects the 3 pairs. Boom. 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 One of the components of single arm Chi Sau is that you turn on your inner rotation adduction stance, iris, and that you chamber your arm, and you turn on the nervous system in these 3 quarters of your body while you work with this quarter of your body. And that's our first cycle with the Heun Sau. So Isaiah's going to Heun Sau, and now he's the attacker. I'm the counter attacker. And then right here, I'm going to Heun Sau. I'm the attacker. So the next one that we have is Isaiah does his attack, and I push him way over the line, and he goes all the way to Bong first. So he did not get with it down the line. Man Sau can hold down the line. As I roll him over, he went to Bong on the way. Basically, we're skipping a move. We're skipping the punch. And I'm over here, so he can now add cycle number 2, the Kwan Sau cycle. And we'll just Kwan Sau cycle a little bit here. So we're going to purposely keep our action on this side of our body planes. And I'm going to do a rolling punch. Catch his rolling punch with Bong Sau. So right here, it's a high punch that gets rolled over. You can use a turn to get this angle right here if you want. Turn back. Right, so he can turn if he wants to make that angle happen. So this is cycle number 2. Cycle number 3 is it's on the outside and I come back for my Tan attack and we're back into the first cycle. So we're in this little cycle now. So I can go over to the Kwan Sau cycle, right? I can come across, and he comes back. So we're in this Tan Sau in the first cycle. Heun Sau, let me get to the first cycle myself. I could accidentally give him a Tan Sau right here. Whoa, they did a crazy jump. 1, 2, and 3. And that's kind of, a lot of Wing Chuns have that much. EBMAS has 2 more. So you should hire an EBMAS instructor if you want to see those 2. Then the next part, for like a student grade 3 level person, they should now have the entering step, chain punches. They've done a lot of self-defense stuff with 2 hands. Look at the whole Tsun Tao form. They're doing a lot of applications out of Tsun Tao form, and they're stepping with them. So we're going to add stepping to this. That's it. It's pretty easy. So back to crossed. I'm going to do a high punch, and then I'm going to step, and he does a turn, and then he turns back. And this is where we see the neutral becoming important. And then he steps with his turn. And I come back. And then I go for this one. And this is the very dangerous place to be. So I'm already stepping back because I did not like being there. And then this is very dangerous. So he's already stepping back. Or he might not even step on that one. And he can start. So see how I didn't step all the way there? That's important. That's a secret, no extra charge. So if he comes in, the first one, and I beat it, go for this one. If I follow that one in, now I'm out of room. That third person is out of room. So if I go, and right here, this is very hard to beat. We got nice and stuck right there. And then right here, there's not a lot to do for Isaiah. But we can make a little dead cycle, and we could, with safety, we just go back and forth for the fitness part, for the cardio part. So we could just safely just go back and forth with a little step, just back and forth, like little step like that, just back and forth. Right? For cardio, yes, that's great. That's my goal, cardio. Right? I'm not going to hit Isaiah there. So stepping with any attack. So then we can go to the student grade 2, and we could say, I'm going to have to step with the Tan Sau. And that again is where I roll into Bong Sau now. So we kind of skipped part of the pair of moves, and then he counter punches with Bong Sau step. And then you can come to the middle and just repeat. All right, this is one of our dead drills. Come to the middle and repeat. You can set up for a Kwan Sau and do Kwan Sau cycle on the Kwan Sau cycle side. I can go across, and he can step back into Tan Sau, and I'm in that one of them holes I don't like. And that's, so then we're into this, and then whichever one we want to do here. So, there's, I mentioned the other ones, and they would have a step. So any kind of attack move has a step. A jut sau is really a punch, remember? So the jut punch come together. So any place there's a jut sau in single arm, that's with a step. The steps are with the leg that you're doing it with. So punching, it's going to have the same leg as for what I've done in this video. And in EBMAS, we just keep adding stuff all the way through section 1. And it caused some waves because some of the footwork, some of the hand patterns are for sections 2 and 3 and 4 to make you a technician, a black belt. But it's all single arm, and it's important stuff. So when you get to be a technician, you're a little bit better. We did number 1, 2, and 3 already. So number 4 and 5 have to do with low attacks. And we had some low attacks in program 1 that I didn't cover. So let's go all the way back. When I'm in this high Tan Sau place, I could start adding Kwan Sau punch, depending on the student, for 0 and 1. Some students are ready for this kind of game. Some students aren't. So you stick with this Tan Sau. And then you have this Pak Sau concept. From your Tan Sau, you can also add a low attack to high attack again. And I use that as a transition as the student is graded going into 2. They're pretty good. Add that and add the Kwan Sau pair. 5 cycles of Chi Sau.